13 News Now begins with breaking news.
Updating the breaking news, 13 News Now has followed all evening. Officials have named the suspected shooter in that deadly attack at a Florida high school.
Nicholas Cruz is in custody right now. Investigators say he is an 18-year-old man who used to go to the school. We're told Cruz came on campus, shot more than a dozen people, then got out of the school by blending in with the students who were running away. Several people are dead.
Governor Ralph Northam tweeted he is heartbroken for the families and that we must work together to protect children from gun violence. 13 News Now will bring you updates as they come in. Portsmouth police officers reaching out to neighbors after a deadly shooting on a street.
This was the reset walk on Des Moines Avenue where someone shot and killed Ketandra Wilson yesterday. As officers try to help residents cope, Wilson's family is also trying to make sense of their loss. 13 News Now reporter Erin Lena Bose spoke with them today. She joins us live in Portsmouth.
Yeah, and David, I spoke to Ketandra's grandfather, who's basically like her father because he says he's raised her since she was 4 months old. Now, he described her as a big kid, friendly, hardworking. He says that she was here yesterday visiting some people. He didn't know much more, but he says he's shocked that this has happened.
I was proud. I was proud. I was like a peacock. Proud.
George Cross clutched his granddaughter's graduation photo, thinking about the happier times.
Ooh, it was a great day.
He raised Ketandra Wilson in this Suffolk home from the age of 4 months. Well, sadly, it's only memories he has left of her.
To know that your baby is gone, ain't coming back.
A Tuesday afternoon, Portsmouth police arrived in the neighborhood of Des Moines Avenue and Portsmouth Boulevard. That's where they found the 22-year-old shot in the stomach. As a result, Ketandra died at the scene. Today, officers spent the afternoon walking the neighborhood where she was found, looking for clues about her murder. As Cross remembers the happier times,
I saw first day on the school bus.
He's praying that whoever is behind his granddaughter's death will come forward.
And I said, God will take care of all of it, you know.
And Portsmouth police are still looking into this case, investigating. So if anyone has any information that you believe could help them, you're asked to call the crime line. Reporting live in Portsmouth, I'm Erin LeBeau, 13 News Now.
It was another gloomy day, but the temperatures were warmer than yesterday, but the chance for some rain will stay with us a while longer. Jeff has a look at the unsettled weather pattern.
Yeah, but each day the rain chances are fairly low. Like, for example, tonight, we've been tracking, if you've been watching, since about 4 o'clock, some rain out there. Now we have nothing. I mean, there's just a little tiny blip on radar over the last several hours. In fact, going all the way back to a little bit earlier today, we had several areas moving through, but they would be small, isolated. They'd evaporate before they hit the ground. So in general, we're just looking right now officially at partly cloudy skies and conditions. Temperature at 51 degrees. We've actually dropped again a couple. We do expect it to go back up a little bit later tonight as that southerly wind increases from 11 miles per hour up into the teens and even into the 20s at times. So you can see for this evening, like I've been tracking here for the past couple of hours, there will be 1 or 2 areas every so often on radar. Most of it won't even reach the ground. Take the umbrellas if you're heading out just to be on the safe side. I guarantee you 90-some% of you will not have to deal with it. A little bit later tonight, the odds do go up somewhat as a disturbance moves in late tonight, early Thursday from the western parts of the state. But in general, the temperatures will start to rise as we get into the overnight. Temperature, speaking of rising, look at from yesterday, I should have put that on there too. You know, we were about 40 and then today 54 and still climbing. 73, another 73, and then you can see we go back down the other side of the roller coaster as we get into the weekend and then right back up. So some major swings. We'll talk about the rain chances down the extended part of the forecast in a while.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Developing now, a wild night ends with an arrest. Check out the body camera footage from Monday night in Idlewild County. The sheriff's office says it shows what led to a Virginia State University basketball player and another woman facing charges. Both women are accused of getting aggressive with police. 13 News Now reporter Chanu Hurd joins us. And Chanu, you spoke with authorities about these images.
I did, and we've also been doing some digging on this. At last check a few hours ago, Shanice Vaughn, the driver you see in the video who was arrested, was removed from the VSU women's basketball team's roster that you can find online. Again, she was the driver who was seen in this video. Investigators say this was a pretty routine traffic stop, and when they pulled her over, she was apparently going 68 on a 55. Again, when that deputy pulled her over and stopped her here in Isle of Wight. Now, in the 1 hour long video, you can hear the sheriff's deputy tell Vaughn she was driving over the speed limit. He asked for her driver's license and she refused to hand it over, insisting she was not speeding. The sheriff's office says Vaughn refused to also identify herself and was therefore arrested for obstruction and speeding. Deputies say Natasha Bowman, the passenger, was intoxicated. She is the owner of the car. Investigators also found a loaded gun in the car. We're told the weapon was reported stolen out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. According to an article from October 4th, 2017, Shanice Vaughn was a newcomer to the Virginia State University basketball team from Milwaukee.
Both were extremely irate with the officer. The driver was claiming to be an athlete at a local college and that continued to say that over and over again. I have received a call from Virginia State University Police Department asking the charges on the individual.
All right, and also just a few minutes ago, I did get this statement from Virginia State University saying, quote, Miss Vaughn is a former member of the VSU women's basketball team. Live in Isle of Wight, Shanu Her, 13 News Now.
Now an update on that breaking news out of South Florida. Moments ago, we learned at least 15 people have lost their lives in a shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. That is just outside Miami. The suspect is 18-year-old Nicholas Cruz, according to the Associated Press. Cruz is an ex-student. He is in custody. We're going to keep following this story and update you as we learn more. Big cuts are possibly in store for PBS and NPR.
President Trump's proposed budget would reduce federal funding to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting from $480 million to zero. WHRO television in Norfolk would lose about $1.3 million, or 10% of their budget. WHRO is owned by 19 Hampton Roads public school districts, and with 21,000 local member contributors, President Burt Schmidt is confident the money will be restored by Congress.
It's unfortunate that the administration is again looking to zero us out, but fortunately Congress is supportive. It's bipartisan support. The American people love public media, and it's reflected in Congress.
And we have heard from 2nd District Congressman Scott Taylor's office. His spokesman tells 13 News Now the Republican does not support that cut.
After a much-anticipated renovation, the Cavalier Hotel in Virginia Beach opened its doors today. They celebrated an unofficial opening by bringing invited couples who stayed at the original hotel to come back for Valentine's Day. 13 News Now reporter Philip Townsend is live at the Cavalier. And Philip, the governor's there.
Yes, we are inside the unofficial opening, as you mentioned. Behind me, you see lots of people. This is the Raleigh room you're looking at. And out of these people, there are 75 couples, many who are either married here or had their honeymoon here. And just a few minutes ago, they renewed their vows in the same place where it all began. A return to the Cavalier Hotel.
The history, the architecture, it's a one-of-a-kind property in the United States.
Its unofficial opening after a $75 million renovation also brings back one-of-a-kind memories.
Every detail. Absolutely. One of the great days of my life.
This is Waller and Ann Taylor.
He puts up with me.
Celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary.
We had a grand time here.
And the same place where it all began.
Beautiful setting, my beautiful bride. Nothing could not have been better.
Developer Bruce Thompson invited the Taylors, along with 74 other couples, back to the Cavalier to experience it all over again.
It really is very gratifying to me to see them come back in and ooh and ah over the property.
Every last detail captures the essence of that old hotel, but there's so much that's changed too. It's clean and updated, and it's the perfect place and time to be here again. On Valentine's Day, Wednesday night, after 50 years, the Taylors will get to renew their vows here at the new Cavalier.
Hard to find adequate words, but like I said, one of the highlights of the life.
What a sweet memory, right? Again, here's a look at the Raleigh Room, all these couples celebrating after renewing their vows. The governor was here, the mayor was here, so it should be a pretty good party tonight. For now, I'm live in Virginia Beach. Philip Townsend, 13 News Now.